what my
Good morning,
freaking
everyone.
deck says. Good morning. Sorry, I am supremely behind the 8 ball on this.
What we had to talk about was so important, we didn't prepare an intro.
Yes,
true.
that's right.
We'll go with that.
Yes.
We are still writing, guys.
So what?
We missed you guys so much, we just wanted to jump right in.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
for real.
Yeah. But on the docket, we have, the game industry is back in shambles. You know, it felt like we were kind of making some progress towards something good. You know, it's like, oh, they were at least looking inwards. It's like, well, there are a lot of things that can change. A lot of people, you know, sounding the alarm. These games are too expensive to make. They're too expensive to buy. And we thought that, you know, maybe they were listening. And at the State of Play, we saw what was the name of that? The first trailer that they played. It looks like a looter shooter live service.
I can't remember the name.
It was
Oh, are you talking about Sony State of Play? That was
Yes.
Concord.
Concord.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes. And so that's been downvoted into oblivion, which I can't say I'm surprised by that. So game industry is back where it started. They need money. And we found out that Sony, they're paying $250 million for Ben's next game. So they didn't learn anything. You know, their margins are slim, but they're dumping $250 million into another game. So there's that. And then we have Embracer CEO Lars Wingefors. He's talking about, you know, we can raise prices. Someone's just got to go first, guys. You understand it? And, you know, he's talking about how, you know, they make games that are 100 hours or 120 hours long, and they should be able to charge more for that. But he doesn't consider that maybe people don't want to play 100-hour games, you know. But if did any of you guys watch the Summer Game Fest? Yeah, I want to say yesterday.
I didn't get a chance.
Yeah.
I was out of commission yesterday. So.
Right on. They
I
had
watched a little bit of it. I noticed that there was a lot of FMV footage. There wasn't really a lot of in-game stuff.
Yeah.
very true. Yeah.
For games that are coming out fairly soon,
Mm-hmm.
you would think that there would be more showing off of the gameplay. So
Right.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
Right. So-
Considering the prices too, the prices for putting up a trailer there were pretty freaking high.
yes. It was like hundreds of thousands of dollars for 1 minute.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
That was
That's
like $250,000 for 1 minute, and it just kept going up and up and up and up and up,
Yeah.
depending on the
The
length of
Super
the trailer.
Bowl of video
Yeah,
games.
that's
Pretty
exactly
much.
what I was
That's
thinking,
like-
Ken.
Yeah,
I was like, man, that's like a Super Bowl ad right there.
Yeah.
Like,
It's freaking
Wow.
nuts. Oh my gosh.
I mean, well,
Just
there's kind of a vacuum. There's no E3 anymore. There's
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still can't believe E3 is dead. Like, that just
I know.
Yeah.
broke my heart.
Yeah.
yeah.
To
But-
go back really quick, as someone
Mm-hmm.
who plays and enjoys 80 to 120 hour games,
Mhm.
I can also buy them right now at the current price. So we could totally not raise the prices because they already exist at the prices we have now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, iGaming industry, I would love to speak with you if you ever have a
That's
a
hilarious.
second,
I love
you
it.
know?
Right. Plus
Yes.
80 to 100-hour games doesn't mean it's good.
Right,
Doesn't
very
mean
true.
that you're having fun
Yeah.
that whole time. If it's a
Mhm.
walking
Amen to
simulator and I
that.
don't want to play a walking simulator, get out of here with that.
Yep.
I'm not gonna like.
Yeah.
When I saw Embracer Group guy Wingforce, whatever is Wingforce or Wingforce, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever that dude's name is.
Mhm.
When I saw him make that statement, the first thing I thought of was, well, first I thought of Fox. I thought, oh, he's gonna love this because he's his biggest fan. And also, you want to raise the prices of games? I was about to get mad, and then I thought, you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. Raise it to 100, raise it to $150 million. You know what? Or $150 per game. No one's going to buy it.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Fall flat on your face. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
You're
Please,
saying right
please
about
do
that.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Fool.
Exactly. However, we do have some hope because gamers that I want to say it was Newzoo. They had a statistic that said 60% of gamers are playing older games.
Mhm.
So they're not
Mhm.
wasting time with the new stuff. And it seems like it's all just looter shooter live service stuff. i.e. Suicide Squad or Concord,
Yeah, I don't get that about Concord. I mean, your competition is well established, been
Yeah.
around for a bit,
Yeah.
and they're free to play, and you're
Yes.
charging $40.
Yes. It could be a Helldivers 2 situation, maybe. But that came out of nowhere. No one expected that to do so well.
No.
No, they didn't. But the price also is perfect.
Yeah.
I know right now, like, I don't usually do live games or online games, but I've been playing Fallout 76 because my kid asked me to.
Right. Yeah.
And so I got kind of addicted. But I all the time I go back to Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country all the time. Like those are my two, and then the Zelda games and stuff. But I will forever be playing like old school Nintendo and all that other stuff, and I have so many games available to me that if y'all start charging $100 to $150, like I've got stuff that will occupy me.
Right on.
And they hold up. They hold up those games.
They hold up.
Yeah.
Which not a lot of the newer games necessarily do that anymore.
Right. Exactly. I'm really into the remakes of the older like Tomb Raider. And if they've got a new Power Rangers game, it looks like Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge.
Saw that.
I am super excited about that game. So excited.
That's awesome.
It looks so good. I think I had John DBZ and Lord Beerus in the chat, and I want to say John DBZ said, "No Green Ranger? I'm not interested." It's like right on, okay.
Fair.
That's fair.
Green Ranger was
Green's
awesome.
my favorite.
It was, yeah.
Super fair.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I didn't watch the show too much, but I remember the introduction of the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
Basically whipping the ass of everybody else put together, and I thought, oh, this guy's great.
Oh yeah.
This guy's great because I'm gonna say I didn't like the Power Rangers. So seeing the Green Ranger kick the crap out of him, I was like, oh, this is nice. They finally made the show for me.
Finally.
I was tortured by having to watch the Power Rangers with my cousin all the time. And though I love him like
tortured,
well, it was different when you had to watch it 24/7.
I loved it. I loved it. It was my favorite show growing up.
With someone that's like almost 9 years younger than you.
Okay.
So
I mean, fun fact though, the creator of Gargoyles came out and said that was one of the reasons they were canceled because Power Rangers was so popular.
Okay, well now I hate that.
Now I'm even more mad at Power Rangers.
I don't dislike them. Like even my daughter, she's so funny. She comes over and once in a while she'll want to watch a movie and she's like, "Can we watch Power Rangers?" And I'm like, "You're so precious."
That first movie, man. Oh, it's so good.
No, it killed gargoyles. Never forgive it.
I know.
I don't know. I love my daughter so much.
I watched the Barbie movie, so
I think they both should exist. I hope it gets like a remake.
True.
But if it doesn't, that's fine too. But we got some honorable mentions. We talked about this a little backstage. I hate saying that, but Ultra Kill Dev, he says that it's okay to pirate his games. So we were trying to think of a decent business model for this. So now the sentiment, I think we all can get behind. There shouldn't be like a gate between you and the game because you can't afford it. But I don't know if we have a proper remedy for that, so here is, I want to say his name is Patala, if I can find RC Patala, if I'm not mistaken, but he calls himself Hakita
Patala, yeah.
Okay. So as creator of said game, you should support indies if you can, but culture shouldn't exist only for those who can afford it. Ultra Kill wouldn't exist if it hadn't had easy access to movies, music, and games growing up. If you don't have money, you can support word of mouth. The sentiment is absolutely 100% pure cut love. I love this guy for this. However, I don't know if you can run a successful business like this. Another thing at the Summer Games Fest, the devs behind, what was the little cylinder colored ones? I can't remember. And you kill, someone is the killer and someone is
Among Us.
Among Us. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
Little cylinders.
I love that.
my son loves those. I'm not so keen on them, but they blew up during the pandemic on Twitch. It's super fun. Whatever. But that studio has taken a lot of their money that they made and put it into a fund to help other indies, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Giving back to the indie scene and helping those guys, like, because they didn't know they were going to blow up. It was like, you know what, maybe there's another Among Us out there. Let's create a fund and help them get their games made. So I thought that was really, really great. That could be something that you could be looking into as far as, getting games to gamers. But I just don't know how you remedy this. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of neat when you think about it. What's happening with what you said with Among Us, paying for basically supporting indie developers, and it kind of works with what the Ultra Kill dev said about culture not existing for those who can't afford it.
That's right.
You're also taking that extra step to create culture for those who can't afford it as well. You're creating artwork for those who can't afford the tools or the development costs. So I'm all in favor of that. It's for democratizing this industry from this level anyway. We're not going to see this at AAA unless it's just them showing off saying, hey, we're donating this money to indie developers because look at us, we're great, buy our overpriced shitty games. Pardon my language. But I love these sort of grassroots movements though, because it gives an opportunity for indie developers to really put into their product what their vision was and help that be realized.
Right on. No, that's 100%.
This kind of gets me thinking about like a Kickstarter kind of platform. Like maybe you have a very low bar just for the game, but then as you give more money, maybe there's more content.
Very cool.
Art, stuff like that. So even though, free is like amazing, right? But even if it's just a few bucks for the game, so people with not a lot of resources can get it, but then you still give people the option to pay more for the game, but add some more content, like back behind the scenes stuff. Maybe that kind of structure is something that would work for something like this.
Right on.
It is what's being done actually. A lot of times, especially with indie games lately, I'm seeing a lot more Kickstarters going up for to fund these games, and they'll do that exactly what you said, Kenshin. They'll just say, okay, at this level, if we get to this fundraising goal, we can have this in the game. If we go a little bit further, then we can add these additional features that were, on the drawing board. And I'm actually liking this. A lot of Kickstarter campaigns are going really well for some of these indie developers, and they're using Twitter and guerrilla marketing to really show off and get attention to their products. So it's great. I like this. People are crowdfunding the games they want to play, which is terrific.
Oh yeah.
No middleman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great when they do that. I've seen it done with a couple of movies and some of the indie games and everything, and you basically you got a Kickstarter, but they've also got some that will do like an investment. Like you become kind of like an owner type, but not really. And so like depending on your investment, it's kind of like what Kenshin said is, this investment gets you this much. With the Kickstarter and how DOS was like, you can get this, this, and this, but some of the stuff that you're putting into it gets you this access to this stuff, depending on the money that you did. So I think it's really kind of cool that they're doing that. I like the whole, it shouldn't be available just to those that have the means, but if you did a $30-$40 game, then people are more likely to come up with means, even if they have to wait like a few months. Versus like $70 is killing you guys.
Yeah, it's killing everyone. It's, no lie.
Well, don't worry, Gamer. The games aren't going to be $70 anymore.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I know. It'll be okay. Soon I'll just be able to look at myself and be like, I remember when I could play
You're gonna
Right.
join Lord Beerus and I and just become a retro gamer.
I do retro game.
Yeah.
We'll steer into that.
Yeah.
Steer into it more, damn it.
Well, first we gotta finish Resident Evil.
Yeah. And
Oh,
It over there.
Resident Evil wasn't a full price game when it dropped, was it? When the remake? I don't think it was $70. Was it?
It wasn't 70. I want to say it was like 50.
Gosh, I want to Google it so bad, but we got this
But
up right now.
I know that pretty quickly they became like 20, and then
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy Resident Evil 3 remake
Oh, yeah.
because I tend to go into remakes thinking that they're more like a standalone.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, like they're their own game.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the depth that they added to Jill and to Carlos,
Right on.
and I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
That one's next. I've already got it completed,
Very cool.
and you know, a lot of people didn't like it, especially with how short it was. I was like, well, it was pretty perfect. It didn't have like a bunch of, you know, extra stuff that you had to go through. But that one was like quickly hated by all the original fans, and so they did a Raccoon City edition where they did Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 remake together for like $20.
Ooh. Right
Yeah.
on.
So
All right. You got anything else, Ken? No? All right.
All good?
That was tight. That was right in the pocket. I love that. Let's move on to our next one.
And it just doesn't seem to happen too often.
No.
You just kind of close out a topic.
Yeah. But we're able to do it. We're able to do this time. So our second honorable mention is the developer of Tekken, or the director of Tekken 8. Apparently, people have been telling him to create a Waffle House stage because of all the fights that happen at Waffle House, and he has questions. He's got questions, right?
I love his questions.
I've
There's
heard
just
about
such an
this.
innocence about this
I know.
article.
God bless him. So it says yesterday. Well, here's what he wrote on here. He said, "Why do fights like this between wait staff and customers happen so often?" We're not gonna go to the actual, video, because that is just the whole thing of debauchery. But it says yesterday, Harada took a different approach to his inquiry into why fans were so adamant about a Waffle House Tekken 8 stage. Instead of asking who and what Waffle House is, as he did at the end of March, Harada asked his Twix followers why fights happen so often at Waffle House to warrant its unrelated fame as the unofficial American battleground. Here, that is not the unofficial battleground of America. I don't claim that.
Whoever tailgate
whoever's
party?
talking. Maybe.
I like how the article is like, he's already asked how and what, but now he's asking why. Why is this like this?
Asking
Can
the hard
someone
question.
explain this? Does somebody do any of you guys like know the ins and outs of this? Like this, the legend of Waffle House? Like I have no
The
idea.
Legend of Waffle House. Yeah.
okay, so when I was a teenager,
It's
my
like
best
that.
friend's brother worked at Waffle House, and I never heard of stuff like this happen. I don't know if it's because it was a small town. I don't know what.
Did they make
But-
them go like do some fight training in order to prepare?
Oh, there's
or-
no fight training. There's
Yeah,
no fight
I don't
training.
even know. And then
Oh my gosh.
like I have a history with Waffle House that like I refuse to set foot in them now.
Oh.
But it has nothing to do with fighting. It was that when my mom passed away, my dad like wanted me to like do things that morning,
Mhm.
like so I didn't go into a depression. And he took me to Waffle House, so I hate Waffle House.
Right on.
So, I've never seen any fights, but I do remember
Same.
being in the military, and we were all like, you know what it was,
Mhm.
early Saturday morning, we were
Oh,
either at IHOP or Waffle House,
hmm
and things would get crazy. The only thing that happened at Waffle House that I have ever witnessed that was crazy was I had to go pick up my ex because their best friend Alex was dancing on the tables
There you go.
and
It was a good night.
harassing the wait staff. So
Yeah.
I can see stuff like that. And then I think the only other article that I saw a video. It was this dude was getting arrested, locked himself in the bathroom, decided to climb through the ceilings and fell to his ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
And it was
Hell
one
yeah.
it was one of the funny.
I'm about that.
I want to see a game about that now. I want to see a game where you have to escape a Waffle House.
That's
You know
That's
what?
the way
That's
to go
our
out.
Kickstarter.
You either have to escape a Waffle House or you have to fight your way out. I want to see that game
my
now.
God, yes. That's awesome.
We're gonna go do casual consumer indie games now.
I'll-
And it's gonna be us
Oh.
create crazy levels.
It's definitely going to be
I'll be right in my wheelhouse.
crowdfunded.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
it's like, I don't have that kind of cheese, that kind of bread. Why do like the things for money make up a sandwich? What is that? What is that?
The bread
don't
and
know.
the cheese.
bringing
Yeah.
home the bacon.
Yeah,
you know?
The cheddar.
yes. So you got a
Bacon
BLT right there. I mean, you're missing
Yeah,
the
it's
tomato.
not
You
like
can't
a-
do that for burger. Burger's not analogous for money. We need to find another meat item, but bacon works. Bacon,
Yeah.
bringing home the bacon.
Bacon.
Give me that
bacon
bread. Give me that
definitely
cheddar.
works.
Yeah. Oh my
maybe
God,
it's-
that sounds
maybe
like a
it's from
delicious
back in the
sandwich,
day.
actually.
Yeah, it is. Maybe it's
Oh
back
my
in the day,
gosh.
like the Depression, like people couldn't afford bacon. So the rich people that worked hard were able to bring home the bacon.
That is a perfect insight. I like that.
Yeah.
I
I
like
mean, I
that.
don't know if that's true.
Well,
Don't quote me on that, but
it sounds believable.
There's
Yeah.
so
Just
many
say it with
different
confidence.
terms for money, though. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I bet we could make a really good sandwich out of that. What a weird topic.
Scooby-Doo
Why-
sandwich.
Yeah,
That thing would be
let's
huge.
bring it back to Waffle House,
Yes,
guys.
I'm
Let's
sorry.
stay focused on the
Let
waffles.
me
Come on.
finish
They have
the quote real
sandwiches.
quick,
and bacon.
and then we'll comment. Why do fights like this between waitstaff and customers happen so often in the restaurant? I have never seen plates and chairs flying around like this, especially in Japan. And the composition is not customer versus customer, but customer versus waiter. Harada wrote in a quote retweet of a Waffle House fight video on Twix. I don't think it is simply because it's open 24 hours and there are many drunks. What kind of culture is this? And I was going to use a clip from
It's
iRobot.
all
It's like,
America.
that is the correct question. That's the right question.
Yeah.
I love just the
culture.
purity of his question.
Just
Just
innocent.
wanting so hard to understand
Yeah.
the culture that leads to this sort of behavior. So do I. I really want to get it. I want to sit in like a duck blind and just be in the restaurant, just watch. I just
Yeah,
want to be
yeah.
a fly on the wall. I just want to watch what goes on. I don't
Mhm.
want to interact with it. I just want to see all of the circumstances that lead to wait staff and customers fighting. Make this a reality show, please.
Yeah.
That would make a great reality show, and it would make great video games.
So-
but I think the
Yeah.
problem is that here in America, where we're
Well,
we too crazy.
I
We
mean-
do crazy things,
we go.
like fight a waiter that said you only left me 10%.
Forget. So, just a question for the panel. Would you like to see a Waffle House stage in Tekken 8?
Absolutely.
Hilarious.
I have
They would
no
have to
horse
get
in
some-
this.
Hilarious.
I have no horse in this at all. I'm not a Tekken fan. I think I've played one Tekken game.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I want to see a Waffle
Exactly.
House stage.
I've never played a Tekken game. Give us Waffle House immediately.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
why
This
not?
This is fan service done right.
Really?
You got to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. That would be great.
I mean, because what are we asking? What are fans asking? They're not asking for any changes to the game mechanics, new characters, and stuff like that. They're asking for a stage. This is a gimme. Just
They
do it.
want breakfast. Just give them breakfast.
it's true.
Of
just-
course,
We just
where's
want our
the slippery
waffles.
slope? What does this lead to then? Where are we going to have new stages? I mean, because people are going to, because you get, okay, well, let's walk through this.
Mhm.
So they say, okay, we're going to make a Waffle House stage because Americans are crazy at Waffle Houses and they asked for this. Well, then someone else is going to ask for something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is going to go from there.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? If it's not, as far as development goes, if it's not too much to make a stage, have at it. Make all these kinds of stages. Go
It's
crazy.
good press for them. Like,
Absolutely.
oh wow, there's a Waffle House stage. Maybe people who don't own the game would be like, I love Waffle House.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
I'm,
It's
like,
good fan
yeah.
service. It's not breaking the game. I don't see how
Yeah.
it could.
I'm the only one that
Imagine
doesn't
the-
want one.
the
I don't
Twitch
want a
videos.
Waffle
You
House
don't
stage.
want
No.
No? Why not?
Just because what is the kind of culture that is the Waffle House? You know what I mean? It's like the fights breaking out between. I just don't want that kind of American culture like boost it out
It's
into
too
the world.
late, Fox.
That's hilarious.
It's too late.
It's too
I was gonna
late.
say we're already like the butt of the international jokes.
Oh my
I have
God.
bad news.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Well,
Yeah.
we have at it, I
Without
guess.
the level, this article alone
This
has people on
is
YouTube
awesome. I love this
searching
article.
up Waffle House fights.
And by the way, it was pinned by Isaiah Colbert by IGN. I used to do that. It used to be the first thing I did. Just shout out the pin, whoever pinned the article, but trying to keep doing that. But yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, we're about that.
We just wanted to dive into this so quickly. We didn't give you a chance.
It's so funny.
It's the morning. We're hungry. We want to talk about Waffle House.
That's exactly right.
It's
We want our bacon. We want our
Yeah.
waffles.
You've been to a Waffle House, Gamer? Have you,
Mhm.
Ken?
I've been once. Pretty good waffle.
Right on.
It was pretty
Okay.
good. I had to go to
I
a
like
wedding
their
in
blueberry
Alabama.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I got the grits. Those are pretty good too.
Yes, grits
Grits
are.
are
I grew
great.
up on grits.
I'm very pro grit
Yeah.
over here.
Excellent. I'm
Just
gonna
to
have
find
to go to
out where I
Waffle
can-
House after this episode, guys.
Yeah.
I
have to see
There's
if
no
I can
Waffle House
get-
where I'm at over here.
No,
Not
there's
neither
none
for
up
me.
here. There's none in Canada.
Canadian.
Let's see if there's somewhere I can get grits. Actually, I've never had grits.
They're
Oh my
delicious.
goodness.
Oh.
A little bit of
All
salt.
right.
I only
a little
learned
butter.
about grits.
Evan.
The only reason I learned about them was watching My Cousin Vinny.
Yes, I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I don't have to get into it. That's like a defining personality trait of mine. But anyway,
What? That,
great
man,
job.
That movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I could talk about that movie. I could easily spend a lot of time talking about that movie. Not now.
My cousin Vinny.
It's one of my
You
favorites.
talk about a good way to reveal American culture.
Mm,
My cousin Vinny,
The
grits,
clash
the
of
New York
American culture between
accent.
New York
right
and
on.
the South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This-
It's true
Right.
because my family, my grandma was Italian from Philly,
Ooh.
and it was remarkably a lot like New York.
Right on. Right on.
And
I'm from Long Island.
there you go. Well, I always loved the used guys,
Yeah.
the used guys, and so it was funny when my grandpa passed. Everybody from Philly was on one side of the house, and everybody else was on the other, and we'd be like y'all, and they'd be like, "You guys talk funny," and we'd be like, "No, y'all talk funny."
Yeah.
And so,
Fight,
That's
fight,
great.
fight.
Well, let's take this to a Waffle House.
Yeah.
Discuss this
Yeah,
later.
there we go.
that's exactly.
That's the
and
wrong
that's-
battleground because it's between customer and waiter, not customer and customer. You gotta
Yeah,
maybe
but, I
team
mean,
up and go to Waffle House to, I guess burn it down. I don't know.
Yeah, but you can get into a family fight there and then take it out on the leaders. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's
And
like-
that's probably what it is.
It's
They're
like-
just like, did that cook just look at me?
maybe that might be it. Who knows? I don't know.
I said sunny side up.
It's definitely worth some study.
You
for sure.
got it. I think that's what it is. My food's taking too long. My yolk is too runny. Something, Oh my god! I think you hit the nail on the head, Gamer.
I have a Waffle House up the street. I'm tempted to go every day this week and just take notes.
Take videos. It's like here I am at the Waffle House.
I'll
Go in
make my
there.
daughter go. She's the psychologist, so we'll
Just
take
go in
her
there and
and
just
see what her
people
insight
watch.
is.
Just watch.
Yeah.
Watch what happens. Right on. Okay. I think that's enough for the Waffle House.
Yes, it
Sorry.
is.
Got to-
We got more out of that than I thought we would.
me too.
Regardless, I'll
Shit.
play a Waffle House level.
Okay, so the consensus is create a Waffle House level. Okay, all right,
Yep.
Yes.
right on. All right, do it,
In case
Mr.
you're watching.
Captain. This is new. This is it's kind of new, but with the new Call of Duty coming out, I don't know if it's Phil Spencer's call, but Xbox as a whole, they are putting it day one on Game Pass. Now, I've got to ask you guys, this is what this meeting of the minds is for, this kind of thing, right? Is that a good idea? Because we know that they cannibalize their physical sales with Game Pass. So as soon as they put it on Game Pass, it's not selling any physical discs for Xbox. But they do still have PC and PlayStation that I'm pretty sure they're putting it on those platforms. So they still have the potential to make a decent amount of money. I know the thinking is this is going to drive people to Game Pass, but how successful do you think that will be? And, is it a good idea?
The time where a video game sells the most is when it just comes out, and you're basically isolating an entire audience of buying it
Mhm.
because it'll just automatically be on the Game Pass. So everyone who already has the Game Pass is not going to purchase this game. They will just suddenly have it.
Right.
And that seems like a weird business decision, especially for COD,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is like the big game. Because a bunch of these people, how many people have Game Pass that are Xbox players? That's a stat I don't know. But you're basically saying no to their money.
Mhm.
And again, greed. It just seems like a weird choice.
Mhm.
And it will probably sell great on PlayStation and PC, but it's just some people like that's one of the main, like FIFA, COD, or like the main like Xbox games, Madden, all that stuff. So it seems weird to just totally just give it to them.
Yeah, I never saw the point of day one Game Pass. I think it's a really bad idea because I know what I pay for Game Pass
Yeah. Yeah.
for my son. Now getting Hellblade 2 on day one for free, basically,
Yeah.
for like $20 because that's what I pay for Game Pass.
Mhm.
It's really awesome, but it's definitely, like Kenshin said, it's not a good business model.
Right.
Like even if you just did 1 week,
Mhm.
like sales would be even better because nobody wants to wait even a week. They don't want the spoilers. They don't want the YouTube videos
Yeah.
that are doing that. I think a real good sweet spot would be like 2 weeks later. It's released on Game Pass.
Right on.
Game Pass literally, like as far as our games, I think I was reading something one time, and I don't remember where, so I can't say anything. They were talking about how Game Pass doesn't really make any money.
Huh.
And it's true because think about how many games you have on there.
Mhm.
Think about how many day one brand new games are on there. How are you making money with the Xbox Studios, the Umbrella Studios? How are you making money if you're putting it all on Game Pass day one?
Yeah.
Because they have rolled in Xbox Live and Game Pass all into like this one big package.
Mhm.
And while it's awesome for us gamers, like this is why
Mhm.
Xbox is so unsuccessful. I do think that Kenshin was right. COD is a huge game. It is, I remember what was like 10 years ago, they were doing the commercial of, hey, you can get it early at this time, blah, blah, blah. And like the commercial was this dude had flown from California to the East Coast just to get COD early at midnight. He was in the hotel room playing, So
Yeah.
like that's how big it is.
Mhm.
And I think you're giving it away day one release on Game Pass. Like you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Maybe that, I don't know if it was a mistake. Was it a verbal gaffe to say that Call of Duty is going to be available on Game Pass on day one, and they just had to go through with that? Like, did somebody make a mistake at some point? I don't know. I could see that happening. Then again, I could also see them walking it back saying, "Oh no, we meant this," and something else entirely. But
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard to tell whether or not this is going to work out for them because
Mhm.
this is. I mean, we're used to looking at this in terms of units sold,
Yes.
pieces of software sold, but now we have to look at this as how much are people going to be paying for Game Pass over the long run?
Yeah. They
Right,
need
so
subscribers, is what
You
they
need subscribers, and you
Yep.
need content to attract subscribers, so they're
Exactly.
paying that monthly fee.
Yep.
But if you take one average gamer and you say, okay, on one hand, average gamer is going to just buy these games to own in their library, and then
Mhm.
on the other hand, they're going to be going with Game Pass and paying a monthly fee. After how many years? I'd like to see how much money was spent on
Yeah.
one versus the other.
Exactly. And
I mean,
they-
it could just be that we're not thinking about this long term enough. I don't know. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft has crunched the numbers and they think, well, if we get people on Game Pass and we attract enough people there, eventually this will work out for us.
Mhm.
I just don't know. And especially with competition now coming from like X Defiant, people are saying is a Call of Duty killer, and it's free to play.
Yeah.
I mean, is that going to be eating some of Call of Duty's lunch a little bit?
Stupid question.
Yeah.
You can still buy it single on Xbox. You don't need the Game Pass to play it. You
Right.
can if you don't have Game Pass. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, if you don't have Game Pass, you can still get it.
Yeah.
I'm. It's a huge subscriber grab. Like,
Yes.
I mean, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's real tempting. Like, my kid got because I got him the Xbox for Christmas, so it came with 3 months of Game Pass. Even a lot of the new laptops are coming with 3 months free of Game Pass, and it's a really awesome service. But it's kind of like, do you have it forever, or is it only like X amount of time that you get it? I know that's
a great question too.
Yeah, with my son, like at first, like Grand Theft Auto was on Game Pass, and then it wasn't anymore, so we had to go buy it. So I mean, that's one thing that happens is like if you give us the free game and then it's only there for like 6 months, but I'm still playing, I'm still enjoying, so then I'm gonna buy it later, which is fine. But by that point, you've already reduced the price of the game and at least done 1 or 2 sales. So it's a good idea. I think Nos is right. Like maybe we should like kind of dig into Game Pass a little bit and see how that works for them and what their numbers are, if they've even released it, because sometimes Xbox is real hush-lipped about this.
They for a long time no one could find like their subscriber count for Game Pass, but as far as I know, they're sitting at about 34 million subscribers right now.
And I think the only reason we found that out is because of the Activision deal.
The acquisition. And like, because I know when I was looking up last year's sales, they have not released how many units of Xbox they sold, period. Like, it's not anything.
Which is interesting that you bring that up.
Sorry.
Interesting that you bring that up, Gamer, because if you scroll down further into this article, or into the article on FandomWire that we were reading, there's a poll there that says the percentage of people that what console people will be playing it on. And I was reading this, I'm like, I have a problem with this. So it says 34.1% of people will be playing it on PlayStation, 29.5% will be playing it on Xbox, and 36% will be playing it on PC. But I'm thinking, wait a minute, didn't PlayStation outsell Xbox by like 2 to 1 or something like that? And I went down in the comments of the article and people were saying the same thing. So if there's less Xboxes out there by like 50% compared to PlayStation, and still 30% of it going to be playing it on Xbox, this poll that you have on this article isn't the dunk that you think it is.
Well,
Right
also different kinds of gamers buy different systems because those games come out on the systems. Like, I'm a JRPG fan, so I buy the PlayStation because I know it will always be there. I can, and maybe I'm a little judgy, but I can talk to someone and I probably know which console they own. You know,
that's hilarious.
Like I can talk to someone and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm playing this." I'm like, "You own an Xbox, don't you?" And they're like, "Yeah, I do." And I'm like, "Got him."
If I've got a PC and a PlayStation and it's a first-person shooter, I want to play that on PC because I love my mouse and keyboard. Right. But if it's third-person like Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West, it's a third-person like Yakuza. I'll play that on console easily.
Those are my
Sleeping Dogs.
games.
I'll play that on console if I have both. So sometimes it's just a preference for how you like the game, like what you like to use.
Well, for me, like, if my son hadn't gotten his Xbox and he didn't still have Game Pass, like when I told him that Hellblade 2 was coming out, he just brought it all into my room and he was like, "Here you go, Mom." And I was like, "Oh, you're sweet." If not, I've got the laptop and that plugs into my TV through HDMI now, and I also have controllers, so I could have played it that way. If need be. But the original Xbox, I was like, dude, I love this. I can't wait for the next one. I just kind of fell off with Xbox. I don't hate Xbox. We all know this, but I'm more of a PlayStation person. I just love their stuff. And like Kenshin said, like the games that we like are more often on PlayStation. So we really like it, and I'm like her. I'm just like, "Oh, you got an Xbox, don't you?"
Yeah.
we just know.
You can just tell by talking to somebody if they just seem really bitter. They're an Xbox owner.
Sometimes. No, that's not what we're saying. Don't try to get us in trouble.
That's great.
But what I was trying to get
I'm trying
at
to
was
get you in trouble with Scotty. That's why.
Maybe those percentages, even though there's more PlayStations out in the world, maybe there will still be a bigger percentage of Xbox users playing it because that's the kind of audience that buys the Xbox.
Right. Yeah.
That's what those numbers I think were telling me
Mhm.
based on that poll.
Yeah.
But it's a Twitter
makes-
poll.
makes
I don't know
more
how
sense.
seriously you can take it.
I mean,
It's also the internet, so it's all fake.
that's
Yeah.
they had like
On the internet,
107,000
it's
votes, I
real
think.
contingent, you know.
yeah.
So I mean,
It's
it was pretty
all
good
on
sample
the internet.
size. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. But all right,
Yeah.
I think we got that one pretty good. Look at us. Oh my god.
I know we're focused this morning.
we're,
Look at
we're
Kenshin.
gonna get into one of our bigger articles. You touched on this, Nas, when you brought up I want to say it was
I did.
yes
What did
you
I
did.
do?
It was it Steam when you can't take your games with you?
Oh yeah,
die?
Steam or Epic Game Store.
Yes. So apparently people are doing digging on this question, and come to find out PlayStation doesn't either. They don't either.
Better late than never.
I'm gonna scoot this over a little bit here. Let me see. Ooh, there we go. Perfect. What? Why did you do that? Oh my god. All right, hold on. Wait. All right, now we're professional. Okay. So, I'm just gonna read a little bit of the article real quick. According to some small print in Sony's policy agreements, users may not sell, rent, lease, loan, sublicense, modify, adapt, arrange, translate, blah, 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 any portion of the content. You may not reproduce or transfer any portion of the content. So, according to this article, you're not able to. And again, this is by Game Bible, penned by Dan Lipscomb. I think that's how you pronounce that. Sorry if I butchered that, but yeah.
I think it's Liscombe.
Okay, right on. So knowing that, how do you think we should be petitioning these companies to let us pass this down to our, whoever we want to, like leave it in our wills that we can, we're able to, leave.
I don't know why that made me just imagine writing like what you're gonna do with your video game library and like your will. Like you say that when you're 14, like if I ever die, you can have my PlayStation. But imagine like actually needing to do that just hurt my brain so hard.
That's so great.
I actually say that to my kid all the time. Like the other day,
Just that reaction was great.
he got a little mouthy with me, and I was just like, "That's it. You don't get my PlayStation and my gaming stuff. That's it. I'm giving it to your sister now. I'm leaving it to her in the will." And like, so I actually do say stuff like that, but
Mhm.
it's really weird. Like when you buy it,
Mhm.
you own it.
Right.
So if I want to give it to a friend
Mhm.
or resell, because for a long time, remember, it was a problem with reselling games at GameStop.
Mm.
When PS4 first came out, there was this big thing of you can't GameFly. There was an attack on GameStop with reselling of the games.
Mm.
And you gotta download it and have the disc and all this other stuff. But as far as if I decide that, like with my brother, okay, he was like, "You gotta play Knights of the Old Republic. This is a cool game."
Right.
I'm showing my age because this was way back. So he lent it to me, and I took it back to Colorado with me and played it, and then it was years before I even gave it back to him, because we both forgot. But under this type of thing, that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Like what if Ken was like, "Hey, gamer, I got this really cool game here. I'm gonna send it to you real quick," and then I play it and then send it back, like.
Mhm.
But suddenly, I played it on YouTube, and I'm like, "Thanks to Kenshin for giving me this game to try." And then suddenly, Sony's like, "Greed.
Yeah.
The greed hammer comes down.
Yeah.
We're gonna play Nintendo.
Hmm.
Cease and desist.
I know.
You're being stupid."
CMA.
There are certain games that I buy physical on purpose because I know I'm going to lend them to my friends. It's one of the reasons why I never really could get into the Kindle, because I cannot keep a good book. If I read a good book, I need someone else to read this book. I have to
Great.
give it to someone.
Yeah.
But there's
I'm
certain
the same.
games where I'm like, I know a bunch of my friends and I are going to want to play this, but like we lend games, so I'll buy this one.
Oh, very
And, like,
cool.
Yeah, like
And especially with how
I
expensive they are. That's a good idea.
Mhm.
Like,
that too, and then also I'm a bit of a collector, so I have a Square Enix shelf, so I try to buy like certain games like in
Mhm.
physical so I can display them, but that's
that's
separate.
awesome. No, that's awesome.
It's just like if someone has your login, right? Can't they play your games?
Yeah,
They
You have
can,
but
but
it's
that's
illegal.
usually that's against the terms of
Terms of
service.
service. I don't know. Sorry, I
But
would
think about it.
score
What
strike on
about
that. Sorry.
what about single console multi-users?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
in my house, like,
Right.
okay, originally my daughter lived with me
Might be a Netflix
when,
type
when
situation
we
with
had
that.
the
I guess.
PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So her PlayStation ID is still on my PlayStation 4.
Mhm.
So her ID, everybody, like there's 5 different IDs
Mhm.
on my PlayStation 4.
Mhm.
So that means that any of them can log on remotely and do remote play, even if they don't live here anymore,
Yeah.
etc. I have the PlayStation Plus top tier, but if I have downloaded it, it's available on that console.
Yeah.
So if Sony has allowed that, where the other users on your console can access your games, how can they enforce this?
They may be able to look at seeing which account actually purchased it and saying that's the technical owner of it,
Mhm.
and everybody else just has access to it.
Yes, and that's fine. But if
If that's how they do it, though.
if you
Right.
can't lend a game to somebody,
Hmm.
but somebody that's on your PlayStation
Mhm.
has access to your games that are digital, how is that different?
Mhm.
That's a question, because I'm telling you right now, if I got into litigations with Sony, that would be the first thing that I brought up as a lawyer.
Mhm.
I don't know. You'd have to go through the. I'm sure that's covered in the terms and conditions that nobody reads,
I'm sure it is.
Okay.
However,
or something that they can point to.
but Sony is saying
Mhm.
you cannot lend, rent, or resell. However, it's auto lended
Mhm.
if you're on the same console.
They may define it a different way. They may use different words to define that specific scenario where it's on the physical console and other people have access to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to.
I guess it
do
would
a
be
deep
just
dive
the
through
owner of the
terms
console
service.
then. You know,
It's-
you're
I-
lending
I know, but
this stuff.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just kind of like it's like you've got this, here's the firm line, and then you've got this gray area that you're seeing, and it's the same. Like, okay, so my son technically owns Lego Ninjago on the PS4,
Mhm.
the movie one.
Mhm.
So if he owns that game because it was gifted to him, bought it for him for Christmas / birthday because he's a New Year's baby, but I borrow it and play it on my PlayStation.
Mhm. Right on.
Hmm.
You know
I
what I
think
mean? Like there's just ways that a good lawyer would be able to pick this apart and get some
Yeah.
small little doubt in there.
I think
Like you're not gonna be
yeah.
able to put me on a jury and win this case, PlayStation, because
Oh, you wouldn't even be selected.
no, I would absolutely not.
I can just see the lawyers asking questions. Are you a gamer? Okay, you're disqualified.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, that's my twin sister. That's GG.
But I think the remedy for this is just for gamers to get together and petition Sony to clarify. And if it is that you can't pass it along, make that part of your terms of service, that you are able to pass these down. And that same thing for Epic also. You got to be able to pass these things down because you do own this stuff. You paid money.
I don't think it's been challenged yet, but in the States,
and it
there's
should
a
be.
law called RUFADA,
Mhm.
which stands for something. Oh, Revised Uniform Fiduciary Access to Digital Assets Act.
Awesome.
It's a mouthful. It's just kind of just flops off the tongue there. But the law basically covers your digital assets
Mhm.
and what happens to them. Originally, 'cause I was doing some reading about this a few weeks ago, so it's not quite fresh in my memory, but originally they wanted to treat digital assets just like physical, tangible assets.
Yeah.
The problem with that, though, is that privacy concerns become a real issue there.
Mhm.
Suppose you don't want someone to have access to all of your email, which I wouldn't,
Right.
right?
Oh, gotcha.
So-
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
So the revision sort of refined it so it's a little bit better for service providers or
Mhm.
custodians is what they think they're called in the law,
Right on.
and
Okay.
for consumers as well. It's a little bit more fair. So
Yeah.
you can define like these digital assets. I want something to happen with them. I want them to be given to my heirs, or I want them to be destroyed.
Mhm.
Which I like because digital assets can be such a broad term. You're right. I
yeah,
don't want everybody going through my emails. However, I also like purposely write things in my journal that are crazy so that when I die and my kids see it, they'll be like, and it'll be like my last little
I don't think it's been challenged yet in terms of like Steam libraries or digital game libraries or digital movie libraries or so on and so forth. But it has been enacted in 45 states, all except for California, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, and Washington, D.C. Sorry. I think Canada has a couple of provinces in Canada have the same kind of law. And of course, EU, I think, is way ahead of everybody.
Right on.
EU's on it when it comes to
Yeah.
consumers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started to do a little bit of research for this in preparation for a video that I didn't end up making.
Right on. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think a lot of
Very
this is
cool.
going to come down to what actually happens when the law gets challenged,
Yeah.
if it does get that far.
All right.
It will at some point.
Yeah,
because
I think
that's
so
how
too.
it goes. But
Yeah.
think about it. Like Kenshin, she's got that Square Enix shelf.
Hmm.
Like say I don't think you have kids yet. You don't have to mention that, but like for me personally, like there's some like all my Mortal Kombat stuff's gonna go to my daughter
Hmm. Very.
because she's like a Mortal Kombat girl. You
Yeah.
know, my consoles and like my older collections are probably gonna go to my youngest because the older two, or at least born by the time the first Xbox came out. You know what I mean? But like all my older stuff, like that my youngest and I, it's our bond. Gaming is our thing. Like he'll come in here and talk to me about my channel or my streams or like all so that's that bond is there. So like pretty much everything is going to be left to him. Like no questions asked. Like my brother-in-law had like an entire office. It was like you walked in and it was like walking into the GameStop museum. You know what I mean? Where they got all their old stuff that they got sent, And I'm like, you have every Game Boy ever? And I'm like looking at the shelves, I'm looking at the games, and then I come over here and I'm looking at all the Sega stuff, and you see these people with huge collections. Like the Top Loader is one of them. He's Australian. I don't know if y'all watched his stuff or seen him on Twix, but like looking at his collection, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's awesome because he's always got one to play and one that's sealed.
Wow.
Whoa, dedication.
That's $1,000 like right
Comic
there.
books, like in comic books, they do that,
Yikes.
right? They'll
Precisely.
buy one for you,
Yeah.
and they'll buy one for storage.
Yeah, and like
That
I'm
overhead's
looking at
not
all-
as high though.
Yeah.
Good lord.
So like,
It's like
so,
$8.
if you-
Sorry.
Well, yeah, but imagine because it's more expensive in Australia and everywhere. The games.
Right
So
on.
like the
Right.
US has them cheaper.
Mhm.
Anyway, I digress. But his whole stuff, it's you can tell the love and the passion that he has for it. And like he'll talk about his son or he'll post something and it'll be them playing on the cabinet game, the arcade style game.
Yeah.
And like I'm
It's
teaching him
gorgeous.
about this or I'm teaching him about that.
Mhm.
And so when he goes, he's obviously going to want to leave all of that to his son, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to do that.
Right.
But the way that this article is worded, it sounds as if that is not okay.
Right.
It's dependent on the terms and conditions. As it is right now, it's dependent on the terms and conditions
Mhm.
of the company that you're dealing with. So if you're dealing with Steam, no. If you're dealing with Epic, no. PlayStation, no. Dealing with GOG is apparently okay with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's case by case. But
Yeah.
the thing I wonder is,
GOG.
why? Yeah, good old games.
Uh,
So yeah, it's another gaming market. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
I didn't know.
assumed
Cool.
that-
No,
I didn't
I'm-
know what it was.
I don't know.
You should check it out. They
Right
have
on.
some
I'm
good.
googling it right now.
They've got some good old games, hence the name.
Cool.
Nice. Do they have Altered Beast is the question. Because that is
I don't know.
Oh man, I
Ultimate
remember
Beast is
playing
awesome.
that for the first time.
I've never played that.
I never beat it.
I missed out on so many good
So
Sega
hard.
games.
Well, I'm sure Beerus has it on his channel, or he will.
Oh, yeah, he
because
does.
Do I
said
want to
it.
watch it though, or do I want to play it? I don't know. I think I might want to play it. There's certain
maybe
things I
watch
need to
it.
experience.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
things
but
you don't want to
maybe
be spoiled on.
watch the first one and see if it's something you'd be into, and
Mm.
you buy it. Because
Maybe.
I do stuff
Sometimes,
like
like, do you guys just like getting thrown into games though with having like no information whatsoever?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like you got to
Yeah.
just figure it
It's
out.
part
Like,
of
the
the
game's
journey.
just like you figure out what to do. I love that sometimes.
Yeah.
But getting back to this whole library thing though,
Mhm.
I have to wonder like why they don't do it. Why Steam is saying no.
Mhm.
Is
Yes.
it that there's not enough of a will to do it? Nobody's asked for this feature, and this is just baked in? Because I looked at in the terms and conditions, it says accounts can't be transferred. Just period. Like that's pretty much what it says.
Wow.
But it doesn't feel like there's a specific subsection for what happens if it's willed to somebody else. So I don't know if they're just falling back on this because this aspect of their terms and conditions covers this and all cases of it.
Yeah.
Nobody's asked for this specific instance. So if there's not enough of a will to do it, then I think more and more people, to what Fox was saying, just need to ask for it. Not just ask for it, demand it.
Yeah.
Use
Demand it.
stronger language. Demand this.
You're gonna have to.
which I agree with. But
Yeah.
you know, for someone that's gamed, you know, and was little when Nintendo came out, you know, I've been here for this whole game thing.
Mhm.
You know, thinking about my kids' Steam library, my at least my second oldest has this vast library, and God forbid if something happened to him, what would happen to that library? And that's something I never really thought about until today, because I have so much. Yeah, I've got digital content. We all know that, but it's mostly for my PlayStation Plus stuff. But I've thought about who will take like all my consoles and whatever I've collected, but not who has access to my account. And you would think that after a couple years ago when my dad passed, we had to go through a lot, like with this Apple stuff. But now with Apple, you can do legacy account.
Yeah.
So you can set somebody up so that they have access to everything.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that, like how you can put an emergency contact,
Yes.
put
yes.
in like a just in case
Yeah.
contact.
And,
Like,
and
Yeah,
I feel like we need to ask for other companies like Sony and stuff to
Yeah.
do something like that, like a legacy account. Like this stuff shouldn't be lost.
Right.
All that money went into it. We put a lot of money into gaming,
Yeah.
whether it's our passion, our profession, or whatnot.
Mhm.
We put a lot of money into it, and we shouldn't. It shouldn't be simply for our lifetime.
You shouldn't be punished on top of already, being dead.
touche.
Well, I plan on
And-
being a ghost that comes back, so
I have
want
my
everybody to have-
backlog. I have to
I want
finish.
everybody to have my library because I want to be able to at least experience it that way.
Another
You
thing
would
to consider.
also
Sorry, go ahead, Kenshin. Go.
you would also hope that these companies want their games to continue to be played. You know, like if I buy it and then I'm gone, but the game still exists, like wouldn't you want it, even if it's just for like weird greed, like advertising, oh look at how cool this is, like
Yeah.
you would want that kind of almost word of mouth like
Yeah,
spread. And the companies work hard on the games too, so just having them suddenly not exist
Yeah.
after all this
Yeah.
time was put in
Yeah,
seems
like
a
it's-
little-
It's almost
dead
like
and
positive
gone.
word of mouth is a good idea.
yes.
Yeah. Ultra Kill the dev.
We
He
might-
knows what he's talking about.
I'll
Kind
tell
of.
you something. Like I hadn't really had much experience with Ultra Kill before that tweet came out,
Mhm.
and now I'm looking at the Steam page. I'm learning about this game, and I'm thinking of playing it.
It looks
all
awesome.
because
The
that
description is
guy-
awesome.
All because the guy generated some goodwill on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
that got my attention.
true.
And how many other people? Who knows?
I think that's something
Mhm.
us gamers need to probably look into, whether it's a petition to have companies change their terms and conditions and specify out loud, like, hey, we can do this, or
Maybe-
whether it's trying to get legislation within our countries. But it's
How about
not
both?
something I really thought heavy. Yeah, both should definitely be it.
Mhm.
But I hadn't really thought about it very much until now. Other
You
than
know what?
like we all know that my stuff's going to this person and this stuff's going to that person. But
Mhm.
now that you're mentioning it, like especially since there's this huge push for digital, like what happens to all my movies on iTunes when I go? What happens to all of my movies on Movies Anywhere, and all this other stuff. Like, what happens to all the stuff that I put all this money into when I'm gone?
I feel like if you focused on one company and just put all of your attention into getting one company to change their policy, Steam specifically.
Yeah.
Steam
the big
specifically, because Steam has a competitor in PlayStation and it has a competitor in Microsoft Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
If you can get Steam to change their policy, if you can convince them, then remember what I said before about how one company will do something crappy and then the others will follow?
Because industry standard, yeah.
What if we flip that on its head?
Make them all do
Convince
good.
Steam to change their policy, and then Microsoft and PlayStation may be pressured to do the same. If there's a strong enough push, why not?
Right on.
You can just look at the other guys and be like, well, Steam is doing this now. Steam changed their policy to be more customer friendly, so you can pass your digital libraries on to other people. Why aren't you? Well, I'm not going to support your product then.
Exactly. And it worked out positively for them, and I don't see why it wouldn't. So
that's true.
It's worth a shot, as far as I'm concerned.
It is.
All right.
So you guys hear it. Anybody wants to start a petition?
We'll sign.
We're here to sign with you guys. Let's fight this.
I'll sign it. I'll promote it.
Yep.
Yeah. We all will.
I wanted to move into like the gaming industry as a whole, the massive amounts that they're spending on games, and also them talking about raising the prices of games. And it seems that these gaming companies are more than comfortable laying the costs at the customer's feet, i.e. raising the prices and all that good stuff. So PlayStation, they, their margins are really low because their games are so expensive to make, but they continue to do it. So this next one is Ben Studios, $250 million invested into their next game. Now, they are the devs of Days Gone. Everyone loved that game. Initially, people dogged it out, but people have come to really love it and want a sequel. Sony said no to the sequel, but they are working on a game that's undisclosed right now. $250 million. So, how? Well, I mean, I don't even have a question for this. I guess why are they making these games so expensive? Why does it cost them to produce these games? Why is it so expensive? I guess, especially when
they're just not caught up to the idea that graphics can only go so far. Gameplay and story need to be there as well. 100%. You've got your PS5, which is a great system for what it can do, but not everybody. Like I prefer a game that has fun gameplay, good music, a great story. I don't need it to look like a movie.
Right. Yeah.
Is that where most of this budget's going? I don't know.
Yeah. I do not need to be able to see Cloud Strife spores in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Can I see them? Yes. Is that like crazy and awesome and definitely a little weird? Yeah.
Hey, Kenshin, don't you want to see every single individual eyelash? What's wrong?
But there are some really pretty looking games out there, and that's a great feat, but it does not need to like hair physics. Like we can just calm down a little. The characters in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth look insane, and some of their cutscenes are insane, and it's sold so many units, and they're like, yeah, we're really struggling to like make back our money. I'm like, everyone is playing this game how? And it's because you can see Cloud Strife spores, and they're like, you need to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah.
$250 million.
To see someone's spores.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm thinking about when I'm in a tough ass boss fight.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, like the Resident Evil 4 remake, like it looks amazing to me. It wasn't until I did photo mode, that I noticed like all the stuff like the pores you can see, Kenshin, or like Leon's arm hair and stuff like that. Stuff you don't notice until you like kind of zoom in on it.
You're like, oh my god.
But they're not spending that kind of money. You know what I mean?
For the remake?
Like they're not spending that kind of money. I know that they've made their own RE engine, so that definitely helps. But there's really great looking games, and there's games that aren't spending that much money and they're making all their stuff back you know, like Kenshin's right. You don't need to spend 700 million to make a game. You know, I mean, prime example, Assassin's Creed, Fallout, stuff like that. They're good looking, you know, for the most part. But you can see, like, if I put on a jacket with a collar and my hair is going through the collar, you know, or suddenly, like in Assassin's Creed, I'm like running through a field and suddenly I'm up in the sky and have no idea why, and I'm up there for like 10 minutes before I finally fall and die because of some glitch. You know, like, but these games are making a ton of money. Their graphics are decent, but it's mostly like the stories are good, the action, the gameplay. That's
the
what
mix.
people are going for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's cool to have a hyper realistic video game, but you've got to have the story, you've got to have the fighting, you've got to have all of that first, instead of focusing on the hairdo and the pores and all that stuff. So I think something's got to change, you know, whether these companies, which I've mentioned before, like, develop your own engine, then you know, it's gonna be cheaper for you than having to buy it, you know, in the long run, and you can use it forever.
Right on.
I think there's just too much emphasis on creating product. That's, and when I use the word product, I'm thinking in terms of, like, you're creating something that, sure, it technically meets the definition of a game, but it's not art. I'm gonna sound like all pretentious now, but, like, I think that games being a mixed art form, you have to have a balance between all of those different elements, and that balance can be different from game to game. One can focus more on graphical elements and less on gameplay, for example, like Wolf Among Us, for example. Not too much on gameplay, but that was more like a
story.
What was that? Yes, thank you, story driven. And that's fine, because you're not going to make a game that appeals to everybody all at once, and I really hope you don't try, because it'll be for nobody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that they're too focused on trying. A lot of times these companies seem to be too focused on making a product that will sell, and not focused on the reasons why it will sell, the appeal. It's just, we have to do what's safe. We have to do what's not risky. And you end up making something that's just kind of bleh. It's not anything to write home about.
Yeah. So to go along with that, we're going to talk about Embracer CEO Lars Wingefors. I have it pulled up here. We're going to go through some of his comments. I don't know if I found the exact one where he's like, someone just needs to go first. But this is coming from Mr. Wingefors. It's been hard to increase pricing in premium PC console games. The pricing of these products has been the same for many years, which means that the margin to succeed is less. And on top of that, there is higher cost of capital. I'm not saying you can't increase the price, but the reality is no one has tried it. So that is where I'm going to focus on. If you try to kind of doll this up and say, oh, well, he didn't say he's increasing prices. No, but the sentiment is he wants someone to try it so it can kind of, you know, become industry standard, and, you know, he could feel more comfortable making his games $150. And so he does kind of tries to rationalize it. He said, but the reality is no one has tried it. If you create an enormous RPG, for example, with 100 or 150 hours of gameplay, very polished and a unique experience, would the consumer be willing to pay more? If they would have more products potentially coming to market. But no one tried it. It's something we have been discussing, but we are currently sticking to the practice of industry. Would it be that one company one day that tries to increase pricing? That remains to be seen. 100% no. If you increase the prices, they are already at a breaking point. They're breaking people. People are passing on games because they are $70. We've got, you know, that's a utility bill, and it's more than some utility bills are. Whenever people are tightening their belts, it's going to, you know, refer back to, this is a luxury item. Gaming is a hobby. It's not anything you need to, you know, have a roof over your head or get you from A to B. So this is one thing that they are really not understanding. when you get put into a CEO position, even if you worked in the company, you're making $100,000 a year. You get put in a CEO position, all of a sudden you're making, multiple 6 figures or, 7 figures. You lose touch with the people who are, who were making your games great. You know what I mean? By word of mouth and buying your games. This dude has clearly lost touch with customers. He's lost touch with us.
No. I think he's right. I think games need to be more expensive, and I think he needs to be the one to try it. And not
You
be a
tell him.
coward, not be a coward and wait for other companies to try it first. If this is legitimately what Lars believes,
Yeah.
go right ahead.
Yes.
I'm sure it will be incredibly successful.
I love this.
I'm sure making the barrier to playing these games harder to overcome is a great strategy, and I am all for it. Go right ahead, Embracer CEO. You've got my full support.
No, don't be a coward if you're talking about doing it. Go ahead and do it. If you think it'll be
hilarious. I
successful,
love
go
it.
ahead and do it instead of
so
doing
good.
the whole let's ride the coattails once somebody else tries it.
Yeah,
Then we all
exactly.
do it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Although, you know what? I was thinking though, what'll be probably the first game to raise that price, unless something else comes out before it. It's going to be GTA 6.
Oh,
GTA
yeah.
6 is going to be
Absolutely. They're talking
Yeah.
about making that like a. What article did I read? They were talking about it being 150 for the base model.
Good
And
lord.
I said-
What?
Yeah, and
No,
that could just
yeah.
be them trying to stir the pot. But I read something on it, and I said something to my son about it, and he was just like, no.
Yeah.
I
then,
think they're
like-
floating that balloon though.
Yeah,
'Cause
and then
if you
like a
say-
month later, he was like, I'm getting this day one. And I was like, you better get a job, son. Like,
Yeah.
You tell
You-
people it's going to be $150. You see the reaction. If it's
Mhm.
overwhelmingly negative, which
mhm.
then you
That-
say, "Oh, well, we weren't going to do $150. We're going to do
Exactly.
120."
Exactly.
And then people will be like,
Wow.
"Oh, that's better. Okay, we'll
what
settle
they're
for
doing
100."
now is trying to test it out and see
Exactly.
what they can get away with.
Yeah.
It's like what
And
The big
I think
ask.
Multiverses was doing as well, with charging
Mhm.
people $10 for 6 lives. To oh my god, did you guys hear about that?
No.
Oh, incredibly egregious multi-transactions that they walked back and they said it was a bug. It was out there for 2 weeks. Basically,
I'm
you
sure
guys
it
are
was a
familiar
bug.
with Multiverses, right? It's
Mhm.
Warner Brothers,
Yep.
Smash
Mhm.
Brothers,
Mhm.
Warner Brothers, Smash
That's
Brothers.
the perfect
It's
way to
weird.
put it. Yeah.
But you had so there was microtransactions where you spent $10 to refill
Wow.
6 lives.
Wow.
$10 for 6 lives. So it's that kind of horrible microtransactions that you see in mobile games
Mm-hmm.
brought to this.
Oh my goodness.
And they walked it back and they said, "Oh, that was a bug. It's not that it's not in the game. It's just not at that difficulty level. So it's still going to be in there, but for the insane difficulty that hasn't been released yet."
That's
But
ridiculous.
that's a trial balloon.
Yeah.
They want to see
Mhm.
people's reactions, and it's also the easiest way that you can introduce an unfavorable change. You
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it was a mistake, but now it's in people's head. Now people know that it's a possibility.
Yep.
So if it comes up again, they'll already have that little bit of a pathway built into their
Mhm.
head.
They're not as shocked because they've
It's-
seen it before.
It's the
Yeah,
first step to
exactly.
normalizing this crap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And
How do we get
So-
here?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
Kenshin.
It's
It's-
a 5-letter word that
Greed.
rhymes with greed. It actually happens to be greed. Yeah.
And,
Right.
and I think it's a little bit of conditioning too, because I think the $70 games were supposed to be temporary, and then all of a sudden they're not, and now
Uh-huh.
all ga-
Well,
Okay,
they
so
were
$70.
temporary. It's
Yeah.
just it wasn't just a temporary increase. It's the $70 on the way to $80, on the way to $90. So
Yeah.
in that way, it is temporary.
yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah. So
He's
one
got
of
a point.
you guys said, they put that shock out there, $150 for the base, and then it's like, just
Mhm.
kidding, it's just 100, and so it's like people are
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, no, that's better.
Mhm.
So they think that they're getting a deal. That is a business strategy, and people actually do use it. I would, and I have faith in gamers. I know that we are not going too far for this. At some point, we've got to say, absolutely not. You get your house together. You stop making these $250 million games, right?
Yeah.
You give us quality games again for what they cost. I believe in gamers. I believe that we're going to stand up for it. I'm
I hope so.
continuing to play
Yeah.
Tomb Raider. I'll continue to play the Tomb Raider remake. There are a couple of games that I'm looking forward to, but they are not a necessity. And if these games want to, and these games companies want to keep pressing, say goodbye. I'm done. Absolutely done.
Yeah, I mean, I've been out of this for a while. Like the last AAA, the last new AAA game I played was Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
And that game, I apologize to people that love that game. I hated the hell out of it. That game was so stupid. And that was it. After that, I was just done AAA and haven't looked back. And that was years ago. And I've been fine playing other games. And I haven't been screaming saying like, this game sucks. You need to do. No, I've just quietly left. And there's going to be a lot of people that just quietly leave that AAA space. There's going to be some people that complain. There's going to be some people that will stand for the game companies. And there's going to be a lot of people in between that are just like, no, I don't want this. I'm going to do something else.
Yeah, it's true because like we all said, we've got plenty of older games that we either have or know about that we can explore for, we can get like 8 retro games for the price that we're paying for your one AAA, depending on things. But there's not going to be any shortage of things that us gamers can do while we wait for your prices back down. Like it's not okay. And it was kind of like even I was kind of upset when Nintendo was like, oh, Tears of the Kingdom is going to be $70. I was like, excuse me. Like now you're going from 60 to 70. But it's essentially like having 3 games in one because they have like a sky level, the regular map, and then the lower level, and so I can understand why they had to do an extra 10 to cover all that. I do. But they were just like, no, we promise. It's because it's a large game. That's why we're charging 70. And they, immediately addressed it. And then you go back and everything's still $60 for all the other games that have come out. And I had somebody say, well, it's because it's Nintendo. It's not like they have the graphics or the stuff that Xbox has. And I was like, I get that. However, Nintendo games are quality. There's a lot of stuff in them. Like, have you played Mario? Like, I mean, it was a $60 game, and it's Mario Wonder is like insane. Like you're getting
it looks so
all
good.
these. It's so fun.
Yeah.
But you get all this other stuff, and you got to think about it. Like, what is Nintendo doing that they're able to keep their costs down and have so much material? Like, I'm still going back and playing the new Super Mario Brothers Wii and finding stuff.
Oh yeah.
I've still found stuff.
And that's from a system that people
Super
have said
Mario
is,
World.
Yeah. Oh, Super Mario World? You're still finding stuff in Super Mario World?
Well, not really anymore, but like when I was 20, I still found new stuff, like in my early 20s.
Right on.
Or like stuff I think is new because I forgot that it was there, like, oh, I forgot this secret was here,
And all of this, though, from a system that people have said is underpowered.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They are.
They made it
and
work.
I mean, the Switch is more powerful than the other ones, and it's still way underpowered. However, it can also go with me.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can play on the big screen. Like, forget about it. Xbox and PlayStation do something like that, it's over. I'm buying everything. But like you need to go back to Nintendo. I mean, they started out as a card game company, but maybe somebody that's been around since like the late 1800s, you need to come and look at their stuff and see what's going on.
Apparently they've been around longer than that. It started as a card game, like in
it was in the late 1800s. It was a card game.
They've been around forever. It's crazy.
Yeah. At one point they had a hotel.
They should bring that back. They should
look
bring
it
that back. A Nintendo hotel would be dope. They would make so much money.
Oh yeah.
But now they got Nintendo World and stuff like that. So like I'm interested.
Right on.
That's my Disneyland.
So our very last topic, and then we're gonna move into some Jeopardy. Yes, we are.
We're doing
that today.
trivia.
We are doing that today.
Let's go.
Yes.
Oh boy, this is gonna
Time
be
to
interesting.
lose. I'm so excited.
Oh no, you won't lose. I'm one of those that like I'll know everything until you put me on the spot, and then I'm like,
I didn't know what GOG was.
Good old
I don't know
games.
what the
You
hell's
know
going
now.
on.
Use it for later. I think it's vintage stuff. So I imagine Nos, Lord Beers, and John DBZ will ace this. But before we get into that, we do have more gaming. So
My money is on Beerus.
probably.
I don't think he's here. I haven't seen him in the chat.
Not here today.
Not here today,
Oh.
but that's fine. That just means we'll sweep. We'll sweep.
Then we have
or
a
die
chance.
trying. But this is the era of live action remakes, and Amazon has taken it upon themselves to pluck a game from I want to say it's Capcom. Am I wrong? Or Sega.
Oh, you're talking about the
Yes.
Yakuza series?
Yes. Okay. You
Oh,
barely-
I've heard about this.
But,
Yeah.
So yeah, this come from IGN, pinned by Daniel Robson. Apparently, Yakuza, the Yakuza series is getting a live action adaptation. Gosh, I sounded like I was drunk just now. Goodness. But yeah, how do we feel about that? Are we ready to see Yakuza in live action form?
I actually have a pretty interesting idea about this.
Yes.
So, I think if they go like full Yakuza, like crime boss, whatever drama,
Hmm.
it could be pretty good because that's just a
Yes.
human drama.
Right.
I think if they go total like silly, random, dress up as Santa, suplexing people in alleyways and going to karaoke after, awesome,
man.
great. I don't know if they can. I think they'll have to pick. I don't think
Mhm.
they can do both at the same time.
No.
There are certain vehicles for certain kinds of media, and the more realistic you get, the less believable certain things are.
Mhm.
Going back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Original is a weird, crazy game where
Mhm.
you're riding chocobos and
Mhm.
you're an eco-terrorist and you're like playing random card games, right? But watching in the remakes doing that, but they look like real people and they sound like real people, it was kind of more of a whiplash as opposed to
Mm.
watching a little boxy cube do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like the more realistic you get, the less believable certain like random thematic shifts are going to be.
Mhm.
And I mean, if Yakuza is not the biggest thematic shift of all time, constantly every 4 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they're going to have to pick a lane and stick with it if they want to get the entire Yakuza experience. I think people are going to have no idea what the hell they're watching.
And maybe that's who it's being made for,
Mhm.
is for people that have never played the games,
Yeah, that's
because the games are crazy. You
Yeah.
forgot the disco dancing,
yep.
the
Oh,
dancing
excuse me.
competition, all of the sub stories. I haven't played all through the Yakuza series, but
Mhm.
I think I stopped at, I think I'm still playing through 5. I'm not
Mm.
sure,
Right on.
but I love this series.
Yeah.
And because I love this series, I don't want to see it remade into live action.
Because they
although
can
I
never
am-
get it right.
I don't have faith in Amazon to do it right.
Oh yeah, no. No,
Also,
not Amazon.
Can it be done? Maybe.
Right.
I'd actually prefer to see this done in animation
Yeah, yeah,
rather than live action.
yeah.
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 But
Same.
that's like we feel that way about a lot of stuff. Like
Mhm.
Because there's certain
You
things you
know.
can do. It's easier to suspend your
Exactly.
disbelief with animation. And
Yeah.
with the Yakuza series,
Yeah.
you really do need to suspend your disbelief, especially for
Mhm.
something that's being made that caters to parts of the world that are not familiar with Japanese culture, and I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things when I was playing that game. I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird, and then I just assumed it must just be this must just be something culturally different that I'm not used to.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Nas, I'm sorry. Are you asking for a Yakuza anime?
Yeah.
Is that
Sure.
what I'm hearing?
Sure.
Yes,
oh
we
my
are.
god.
Cut
Let's
it.
That's
Prince.
great. It's like-
Kenshin's like, I'm all over
Yeah.
that.
Speaking
Not
on
necessarily
that,
like not anime necessarily, but something animated.
but
yeah, I mean,
like
anime
would
they're
make
doing
sense.
Tomb Raider right now, but they say it's an anime. It doesn't look like an anime, but yeah.
Mm.
But I totally get where you're coming from with that, because Yu Yu Hakusho, it doesn't lend itself to being a live action, and they did do a live action of that, and I thought to myself, I'll give it, the old college try, and
Mhm.
it just was not the same. All it did was
Well,
make
there's
me want to
also,
rewatch the original,
yeah.
which I am currently
There
right
was also Bebop too, which didn't do very
Bebop
well.
was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you take Bebop out of the name, it was a decent series. It's not Cowboy Bebop, but it is a pretty good space kind of Odyssey deal,
Did you get your hands on One Piece, the live action?
I watched the first few episodes, but I guess I
Same,
just
yeah.
lost interest, you know.
I watched the first 2, and I like own the first 100 volumes. Like I'm a psycho, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get why they made these decisions, and it did do really well. But I was, and they like it was like 60%. Like it looked good, and like I could recognize people, but then there's just something lost, and not everything has to be in every medium. And I think people are obsessed with that. Like, oh, this is so good. Let's just make it everywhere all the time. Maybe it was good because it was in that certain track.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not, it doesn't appeal to everyone. Let them have their niche, or let us have our niche, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with a game like Yakuza. I mean, it's just so, and I don't know if you could get away with this today, but it is so bloody masculine. It really is. I mean, aside from the fact that Kiryu ends up becoming, I hope I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, but he becomes like an adopted father to a lot of kids.
Oh, that's
and
dope.
So
yeah,
he's such a great, and I love the character.
Yeah.
I love most of the recurring characters in the series. They're so distinct. They are so set in who they are. Really, and I don't want to see that abused by Amazon. And I'm pretty convinced that they will. I'm fairly convinced that they will not be faithful to the game, and even if they are, I still don't know if I would enjoy it.
Yeah, that reminds me of the live action remake of Avatar, where they said that good lord, I blank. See, you're not the only one, gamer, but Katara's brother, what is his name? Sokka. When Sokka was, you know, he was misogynistic.
Oh yeah, they didn't make him sexist.
Right. Yeah. But, you know, it's part of the story, you know, him overcoming that, because there are badass women in Avatar, and, you know, kicked his freaking toes in the dirt, you know, time after time, you know, and he lost that. He lost it. He was like, you know what? Men aren't the only warriors that can, you know, men aren't the only ones that can be warriors. And it added to the story. It's part of Sokka's story. But they were afraid to do it because they, you know, sexism is problematic, you know.
Because the woke culture nowadays.
Sexism is problematic, and it can't be included in a story, even if it is a defining feature. And, you know, it showcases women, you know, kicking his butt to change that. You know what I mean? So I kind of agree with you, Nas, that anything that's problematic can't be included nowadays, because, you know, it might hurt people's feelings. And I would say storytelling is not about, you know, sheltering people. It's about challenging them, challenging, you know, their, you know, predispositions, however you pronounce that.
Predisposition.
If you're going to make if you're going to make a live action show that is basically meant to just be a vehicle for you to send, for you to create your own version, your own warped version of this product with the sensibilities of modern audiences, no thanks. No thanks. I do not want it.
Yeah.
I want what I had. I like, again, I love the characters, I love the gameplay, love the story, love the music, I love everything about it. I think I don't do this with a lot of games, but I think I 100%ed Yakuza 0, which is the prequel one that takes place before.
Okay.
Because I think reading this article, it's set to take place between two different time periods, 95 and 2005.
Right on.
And so the first actual game in the series, I think, was Kiwami, which was technically the second game, because Yakuza 0 takes place before that. So but that game was released after, I believe. And then, so Kiwami is the first one. So you play as Kiryu, who's been in prison for 10 years for taking the blame for murder. And during that time, you see his buddy, his partner, Nishikiyama, become more and more broken down and beaten down by the system, and everybody is just kind of crapping on him. And eventually he snaps and becomes a bad guy.
Ooh. Okay.
And so
after played the Yakuza series, that just makes me want to.
No more spoilers, because Fox is totally watching this.
You know what?
So
I'm going to leave it there. I wasn't going to go beyond
Yeah.
that, but it's so pure, and I love the. I can't explain it. I can't explain exactly what I love about it, but I just love that the people are who they say they are, who they show themselves to be. It's very on the surface, right? There, I mean, the bad guys are going to be bad guys, but the honorable characters stay that way.
Yeah.
Like Kiryu is never he never does anything that's out of character.
Yeah.
Unless the circumstances force him to.
Right. And I do like
he has to do it for the benefit of somebody else. He's put in a position he doesn't want to be because he's got to save somebody. He's got to help somebody.
Yeah.
He's just one of my favorite characters in pretty much all media.
Yikes. Okay. All right. That's you sold.
Don't wreck him.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
I am too. Like that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But
play Yakuza 0 because that gives you a good introduction to the series and everything about it, the characters, and it's just an all-around just great game. Highly recommend it.
Well, I'm gonna have to look into it now.
Yeah,
but
100%. I've been interested. I just didn't have it laid out like that for me.
Yeah,
I want to get into it too.
I wanted to touch though on something that Fox said about how he was sexist, and then he had to show this.
I wasn't. Sako was.
Well, the character in Avatar, how he was sexist and got beat up by the women.
Yeah.
So, Fox is not sexist. He's very awesome. Actually, you're just awesome all around with everything. Like, to be honest with you, I love you to pieces. But it goes back to like I can personally relate with that because I'm much fluffier than I used to be 20 years ago. But I was matched up with someone that was like over a foot taller than me in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
And a man at that, because he was the only one in my weight class. And we had 60 seconds and I had him down in the first 13.
Yeah.
The only rule was that we were not allowed to punch. And after my third time of putting him on the ground, the drill sergeant allowed him to punch me.
That's not fair.
And I was fine with it. I just did the blocks and everything. I didn't punch him back, but I'm not the one that pulled out my mouth guard with blood coming out.
Yeah.
And I had to do that a lot in the military. Not physically, but I had to deal with a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
We were talking about that backstory earlier about this person wasn't cool with females in the Army. So he switched orders. So instead of us going to Hawaii, we went to Alaska.
Yeah.
Boys got to go to Hawaii. And there's a lot of that still goes on in the world today. Without seeing all that stuff in these art forms, in these media forms, in these games, and everybody just being super sensitive, you're losing the lesson of what people have had to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, wouldn't you rather see the world as it is and see how people deal with it rather than this fictional world where
nothing ever goes wrong? No one faces any adversity. They're good from beginning to end.
And so,
I don't know about you guys, but I like seeing. Yeah, I like seeing my characters deal with hardships.
Yeah,
and I like seeing them grow as a result.
Exactly.
There's something in storytelling. I can't remember what it's called. Character growth.
Could you spell that for me?
K A.
The sarcasm. I love how you guys interact. Is so great.
Character. I don't know. Something about carrots.
And development? Is that what you were talking about?
Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
And carrots? Like Bugs Bunny?
I love Bugs Bunny, by the way.
Now, you want to talk about somebody that didn't have any character growth? It's Bugs Bunny.
I know.
He didn't. He was awesome from beginning to end.
Yep.
Yeah. Mary Sue. Bugs Bunny was a Mary Sue.
He did, get up in dresses a lot. How did they make him
he wasn't
so
afraid to do
busty
that
in those
stuff.
dresses? I don't get that.
I have no idea.
Anyway, sorry. Getting way out in left field there. So are we ready for Jeopardy? Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so, but let's do it anyway.
Wow, this is legit. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh jeez.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm scared. Theme songs. I'm out.
Man.
I'm in.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's do this.
So we're not gonna go into comments today. I will acknowledge Scotty's in chat. We've got John DBZ and
What's up,
J Bug. Thank you guys. But so we're trying to
before we do that, can I say one quick thing?
Yeah.
To John DBZ, I played Revita with mouse and keyboard. So much easier now. I'm finally gonna get through that game. I just want to say that quick.
Right on.
Nice.
Good deal. Heck yeah. All right. So let's see. How are we gonna do
Oh
this?
boy.
I guess we'll just go around.
Kenshinsgirl.
Just stretching up.
man.
All right.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna start with gamer. Go ahead and choose your
Wait, how
category.
do we buzz in? How do we
What?
buzz in? Oh, okay. We were just asking. Okay.
Yeah. I think
We're gonna
we're
have turns.
just gonna have. Yeah. I think that's the only way it'll work.
We'll go.
Start with you, gamer.
Okay.
Category and difficulty.
Oh, I'm scared. All right, let's go history for 400.
I'm so glad he started with you.
Ooh.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Which year was the very first computer game that had digital graphic display created? The game was Tic-Tac-Toe, 1947.
I'm screwed.
Wait, what? Oh, the game was Tic-Tac-Toe. Was it 1947, 1952, 63, or 71?
What is 1963?
Let's see. Is that your final answer?
That's my question. Yeah, because I think. Oh
52.
my.
Wow.
52.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So that one's out.
Pong was in the 70s, wasn't it?
I want to say
Yeah,
yes.
I think Pong was 71.
Yeah. All right, Nas, you ready?
Oh no.
man.
Yes.
Shoot. Let's go. I'll take games for 200, Alex.
All right. This game features a war between humans and an alien alliance known as the Covenant.
What is the Halo?
That is
Yeah,
correct,
it's
sir.
on the
Right
board.
Wait,
I was
hold on.
gonna
Wait.
say, we know.
I've got to bring up a thingy for this to keep track. Holy crap.
Are there daily doubles?
No.
I swear.
No. Let's see.
Yeah, John saying that was easy. Yeah, it was. I think I played one Halo game.
I know.
Come on.
He got the
I
easy
didn't.
one.
I didn't know that, so I'm like really screwed.
You're gonna be like all about the theme songs.
I was gonna say destroy all humans. My first category is instantly
that's-
theme songs.
That,
You are
that could
correct.
be. That could work.
Destroy
Yes.
humans. That's awesome. Oh, it's 200. Sorry. Give you
If
extra.
you want to give me more, that's fine.
Right. All right, kid.
It's okay. He's the only one on the board at this point.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna
that's not
we're gonna
gonna
go
last.
theme songs for 200.
Awesome. Okay. Name the game this theme song is from. What?
Ooh,
Are you gonna play the
What?
song?
this is an audio clip.
I don't hear anything.
I don't
hear
know.
Neither do I.
So I automatically get the point.
No, you just have to guess. You have to guess the game and guess the theme
Silent
song.
Hill. Get it?
Yes, seriously.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny.
I'd be excited for that one.
Uh-oh.
I'm still
We're not
mad
gonna
they
be able to
haven't
do
told
this
me when
category?
it's.
Seriously. Oh, how? That's a
The
bummer.
only category I could possibly score in. It's all good.
It is
I
Legend
would
of
have
Zelda.
gotten it.
That
I
one should go to
probably
me
would have
'cause I'm a
gotten it.
Zelda girl.
I probably would have gotten it.
You
Dude,
would've
what's
gotten it. I
up?
think-
What is up with that? That
All
is
All right, give her half points. since
half
it wasn't.
point. Well,
Yeah.
okay, we'll give you a half point, but we're gonna take this
You
category
get to
out
have 100
completely.
instead of
Okay.
200.
I could just pick again.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Well, this category
let's
is
let's do characters for 200.
very cool. Okay. Name the first 3 original starter Pokemon.
Oh, jeez.
That's easy.
Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charmander.
All right.
All right.
Yes. Right on. Right on.
I'm so glad I didn't get that one. No chance. I would have just guessed funny stuff.
I'd have been all.
Was
Pikachu.
Kirby one of them? But
Right on. All right, gamer, you ready?
Kirby. Oh gosh. No, but sure.
he looks like a Pokemon. Huh.
He kind of
looks like
Let's
Jigglypuff.
do
Yeah.
platforms for 300.
Okay. This was Nintendo's last cartridge-based home console. You know this.
Oh,
What is the N6? No, what is the cartridge based?
Yes.
Cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is the N64?
Right on. Boom.
Yeah.
You got it.
well,
300. Woo.
okay. Huh. I'm gonna go with. Shoot. Oh, screw it. Let's go with games for 400.
All right.
Let's go, Nos.
In this online game, you play as a champion and try to
Oh.
destroy an opposing team's nexus.
Oh.
I have no idea. Here, I'm gonna
Sounds like a
check the
gotcha
chat.
game.
You said a gotcha game?
It sounds like one, but don't.
Plays
Yeah.
a champion and tries
See-
to destroy an opposing team's nexus.
I hear online game, and my first thing is World of Warcraft.
I'm gonna.
Oh, it's wrong, but
I don't know. I don't know online games where you do this sort of Fortnite. Whatever.
Is it League?
Ooh.
League of Legends.
Hey, you can't steal.
It might
Well,
be.
you
Answer
already
your own
guessed.
questions.
Yeah,
You
you
said
already get.
Fortnite.
Well, we can
But
steal.
now
Is
I'm
that's an
curious.
option?
No, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it for the points. I'm just curious. No, we're not stealing.
Yeah.
That wasn't me trying to steal.
That was us trying to
Okay.
help.
This is
Sorry,
All
never
right,
mind.
J-Bug is saying League of Legends, I think. So
Ooh.
So Kenshin
he's
was
either
right.
laughing or he's saying League of Legends.
I think the dots helped. Yeah.
So I already guessed. I know I guessed wrong.
I
Let's
don't
see.
have comments, so I can't see what they're doing, but I can see everything else.
Bug, I wish I could put you on the board. Let's see.
You should have been
You
here.
ready? You ready?
Yeah.
League of
There it
Legends.
goes.
Oh.
See, Kenshin. She got
Dang
it.
it.
My brother played a lot of that.
Oh, right
which
on.
helped.
There you go.
Here, 1 second. I'm going to see if any of these play.
Are they all audio
I
or are
already,
there any like composer questions?
I got nothing. Yeah.
I already
I don't know.
eliminated that from the board in my mind. So.
Right on. I was just seeing if that one would go. All right.
Okay.
Ken, your turn.
Let's do characters for 4.
Okay. In Bioshock, you fight giant
Rude.
mutated men in heavily armored diving suits. What are they called?
Actually, are they called Big Daddies?
I think
or
you
something
might be
like that?
right.
Mhm.
Something Dad? Oh wait, I'm close then.
If you
What
if
is
you
it?
get part of it, we'll give you
What
half.
is it?
Final answer.
Big Daddies?
Trust your gut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
100%
cool.
of
Okay,
it.
you guys
Look
are
at
freaking me
you.
out. Okay.
Oh man, such a great game.
Kenshin.
Right on 400. Good lord. All right.
I
all
don't-
right. Gamer.
Oh god.
Yeah. No, these are brutal. These are kind of brutal.
I'll take platforms for 5.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a Jack and Daxter one. This was the very first gaming console ever released, even before Atari Pong. I got nothing, because I know they used to do slot machines before they turned them into like consoles, but I
Yeah,
have no
but there
idea.
It was something else, like because Pong was like the machine and everything like that. But
Yep.
they had and it could have been Pong, but they actually developed the game at MIT.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as console goes, I can't remember.
I think I know what it is.
All right, well,
Go ahead and say.
I'm reaching for a lifeline, Nos. Come on.
I think what's it called? It was I think it was called the Odyssey.
Hmm.
Oh no, wait, wasn't it a Magna?
Yes.
It was a Magnavox.
Hey now.
Yes.
So it was an Odyssey. Yes.
You
you're
ready?
right, Nos. It was
Yeah.
the Magnavox Odyssey.
Teamwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm
do we
giving you
split
all
the
those
points?
points.
or-
No.
Yeah, we split the points.
You want to split them?
Split the points.
All right.
Yeah.
Split the points.
Split the
There's no
points.
rules.
No.
There's no
Fox,
rules.
did you make these questions, Fox?
No, I didn't.
Do
They
you
are
wanna
from
play?
online.
How come you're not
No,
playing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you not playing? Why do you
Yeah,
not
well-
get humiliated with us?
You kept saying I have no idea. I have no idea. I was like, what?
That's gamer's interest right there. She just wants to see Fox brought low by these
Hey,
questions.
You guys let me get humiliated every week.
You're not getting humiliated. You're doing a really good job. Both of you guys are. Or all three of you. Sorry. And gals.
That's only because
More
we're not
gals
doing comments with
that are
Purist
playing.
today.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Someone else has got to make you blush.
this is true. All right, Nas. What do you got?
Ooh, let's go games for 5. Alex.
All right. This game started as an arcade game in 1986 and then was playable on many systems. You are a radioactive monster who loves destroying buildings. What game are you playing?
I want
what's
to
the one with
say
the 3?
Rampage.
Yes, that's the one I would have went with. Is that your final answer?
It's gonna have to be because I can't think of
It's
anything
gonna
else.
Rampage.
Yeah.
For
I love that game.
500. Oh my gosh. All right. Ken?
All right, we're gonna go. Games 300.
Okay. In this game, there is a war over part of the Milky Way galaxy between 3 teams. a humanoid race, an insectoid alien race, and an exiled human race.
So I guess it can't be destroy all humans.
That's the one you go back to, yeah, every time.
Yeah, right. If there's aliens in it.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna know what this is when it's revealed.
Mm.
Hmm.
I think they just remade this game, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
I can't remember the name.
It's not Homeworld, is it? No.
Here, hold
Homeworld is my guess.
on. Okay, let's try
I
it.
hope not. I don't think it's Homeworld. I'm sorry.
StarCraft.
Oh.
Oh, wait. Oh, I shouldn't have ignored that. That was my first thought. And I thought, wait a minute, it doesn't take place in space. But then again, yeah, it does. Because there's the humans, there's the Zerg, there's the Protoss,
There
there's...
you go. Here you go. Oh,
wow.
man.
Yeah, I know, but
Sorry, Kenshin, I made you guess the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I had no shot. So
Right on. Here, I'll
Gamer.
answer it. I'll do one.
Fox do one, yeah.
Right on.
Are you back? Are you back, gamer?
No, you
Yeah.
should do one anyway.
I'm gonna have
No.
to go in a minute because I got the car. The car is gonna be dropped off soon.
Gotcha.
Go on
Okay.
mute again so Fox can do a question.
Oh my gosh.
He's about to do one.
I put myself up there.
Fox, I need you to
I'll
let
go
me put
history.
it up and then let me read it to you.
Oh, okay. Sweet. History for 500.
All right. What was the first commercially sold video game?
Pong. I know that one. Oh no!
I don't mean to laugh at you. I was going
I don't
Pong,
remember
too.
that.
I
I'm
thought it
going
would have
Pong
been
too.
too obvious to be Pong.
Right on. That's jeez.
Dang
Yeah.
it.
0. Okay. Gamer was like Pong. Say it with their chest out in.
Yeah, like say it with confidence.
Oh,
I
I
know.
think you should get half points just for how you're all.
Oh, God.
yeah. Points for the confidence. Points for the confidence.
Yeah.
I know.
Those are
Me, I'm
invisible points.
questioning every answer.
Those
I'm
are-
like,
I'll put those on another sticky note. But
okay.
gamer, what do you got?
Let's go platforms for 400.
Okay.
I'm scared of all the other ones.
This was the third console, right after the Master System.
Oh,
Its
come
This was
best-selling
the
game
Sega
was Sonic.
Genesis.
Perfect. Boom.
Woo.
Right on. 400. Woo.
Okay. Characters for 5.
Okay. This character is a lieutenant in a purple-colored gang. She sleeps with everyone but you.
What?
That one I should have just not read that.
Character's a lieutenant in a purple-colored gang.
Destroy all
She
humans.
sleeps with
Destroy all humans.
sleeps
That's our
with
go-to.
everyone but you.
Colored
What
gang.
the hell is this?
Spiro.
I know.
I-
That's right.
I have no idea.
What is
do I?
Thanos?
Do,
Maybe the clothes
is
are
female?
purple.
I hate to
Characters
say
are-
it, but I am gonna have to go, guys.
Okay.
oh, okay.
Right
I'm
on.
sorry, my car just got delivered. So
No worries.
Well,
Hi.
congratulations. by the way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right on.
I am so sorry.
No
Everybody have
worries.
a great week. It was awesome as always.
Bye, gamer.
All right,
guys.
take care. I have no idea what the answer to this question is. Character's a lieutenant in a purple-colored gang.
I got nothing.
What the hell?
I'm guessing like maybe a Baldur's Gate thing because they're always doing the second part of that sentence with everyone.
But not sleeping with the player character? I don't know. I've got nothing.
Okay. Let's see. Shondi.
Sean?
Never heard of it.
Google.
What? What is this?
As a matter of fact, yeah, let's take a look at Google real quick.
Saints Row.
Oh, I've never
Okay.
played
Never
a
played
Saints
shit.
Row game.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, neither have I.
And she's hot. So
Right on. All right, kid.
all
You're
right.
on.
Characters for 3.
Okay. This person shows up when you win awards in Fallout and is based loosely off the Uncle Moneybags from Monopoly.
Never played a Fallout game.
Neither have I.
No, so I'm opening it
it's-
up for you to steal my points.
Oh,
It's the Vault Boy, the guy with the thumbs up, Vault Boy.
oh, get
That's
out.
the name of the character. Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Wow! Yay!
Oh my gosh. My brain is still on the Shondi one. That's where my head is. I don't know. All right, Ken. Wait. Oh, that was your turn. Sorry.
Yeah, I
Just not-
didn't know.
Do
Okay.
you want to do another one, Fox?
We'll do another one. Let's go history for 300. Super Nintendo Entertainment System came out in what year? Jesus. So the SNES.
Mm-hmm.
It was around the time of Sega,
think-
so it was like they don't even give me a multiple choice.
No.
Yeah, there was only one multiple choice.
I know, right?
Yeah, it was the first one. Kind
Yeah.
of set you up with the expectation that there would be more.
Yeah. So I want to say the Sega came out in like the late 80s, and I want to say the SNES came out a little bit before that. I'd say 85. Let's see.
No.
1990? Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah, because the
My
NES
brain.
came out when? NES came out in the 80s. I think it was like 85.
Right on. Okay.
But also,
Still not on
there's
the board.
there's different release dates depending, because 1990 was when it was released in Japan,
Right.
but it wasn't released in North America until 91.
Right on. There
right?
you go.
And I don't think Europe got it until 92.
I was way off with that though.
You're
No
right.
worries. We're learning something. You know what? Even if
Yeah.
we're getting these wrong, we're still learning something.
Yeah.
100% yes. I know that Sean B
Oh.
was never mind.
Yeah.
That's where my
That-
brain
that
still is. I don't know
Definitely
why.
didn't know.
Nos, it's your turn, sir.
Let's
Where
go
we
with
going?
history for 200.
Okay. This was the first handheld gaming console of this millennium. Oh, come on.
Oh, of
The
this
Game
this
Boy.
millennium. So that would be 2000. Shoot, I actually
What?
don't, because there's so many different things to choose from. I know it's probably not a Game Boy of any
Hmm.
kind. I'm gonna go with
The
Vita?
Millennium.
The Vita?
Game Boy Advance?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Vita.
Okay. The Game Boy Advance.
Oh, damn it!
Right on.
See,
I still
Kenshin.
would have gotten that wrong. I would have.
My childhood right there.
Yeah, right on. Right on.
Vita. When did Vita come out? Vita came out in 2011. Never
Oh
mind.
shoot. So the
Oh.
That was
PSP,
way off.
It had to have come out in like 07. The PlayStation Portable.
Yeah, I think around there.
2004.
Yeah.
2004.
Oh, get out.
For the
Okay.
PlayStation Portable?
Yeah,
crap.
for PSP.
Holy crap,
Wow.
dude. I don't even remember seeing commercials for
Keep-
that thing.
I keep forgetting that. I keep wanting to think that the PSP came out after the Vita, but it's the other way around.
Yeah. Right on. All right, Ken, your turn.
All right, platforms 200.
Very cool. This system brought Microsoft into the gaming world. Oh my God. It's also considered the system with game that modernized the first-person shooter game genre.
It's
Xbox?
the J box.
Okay, cool.
Stop it. Right on.
I was trying to throw it.
200.
The J box.
Right on. All right. I'm gonna go. I mean, there's just 100s left. I guess characters for 100. Hopefully, I don't get this wrong. The famous Mario Party games gave you Mario, Luigi, Princess Daisy, Princess Peach, Yoshi, Wario, Toad, and Waluigi. More playable characters were added. Name one. Donkey Kong, I guess.
Is it just gonna be a list? Yeah.
100. I'm finally on the board. Woo.
I'm gonna go with games for 100.
Very cool. Love that. This game features you as a purple dragon who runs around collecting gems and finding other dragons who have been
Okay.
turned into statues.
I'm gonna guess this. I don't know the game, but I'm gonna guess based on Kenshin and what she already said that this is Spyro.
Yes.
Yeah, good job.
Okay.
Yes.
Context clues for the win.
Yeah.
Right.
You all
on.
now know when I grew up. It's official. Like, I haven't done a history question yet. Let's try
Okay.
history for 100.
Very cool. This was the first at-home gaming console of this millennium.
Oh, jeez.
PS2 was 2001. So unless anything came out in 2000,
Mm.
which I don't know, so we'll go PS2.
Okay. Very
Nice.
good.
Well done.
100. Holy moly. Okay. And
Yeah,
last
bring
one.
us home, Mr. Fox.
Platforms. This cube-shaped console game came out in 2001
same
and was
question.
criticized for its toyish look.
Oh,
So it's the
But that means the PlayStation must have come out like a few months before this because it's also 2001.
Yeah.
So that's
so, GameCube. Awesome.
It's
nailed it.
I love it. This cube-shaped one. Like, come on.
I thought it was game parallelogram. So
Oh,
Nice.
well, is it actually cube-shaped? or is it rectangular?
Oh, it was cute.
Can we
Hmm.
click the theme songs just to see if any of them play?
Yes. Nope.
There's nothing to get it playing.
Okay.
Nah.
I wonder if there's like a button that I'm just not seeing. Hold on, I'm gonna expand this out. Nope. No button to play it. That's ridiculous. All right, Jeopardy
Okay.
Labs. It was great for the most part, but holy crap, that was that was a huge oversight right there. I'm getting my calculator out. All
Watch
right.
Gamer wins.
I think Kenshin won.
Gamer has
let's
950.
Let's say Gamer and Fox were on a team because you
Hmm.
basically started when she had to leave. So
Gotcha.
let's
Okay.
condense that down.
All right. I mean, I'm totally fine taking that L. It's totally fine. Oof. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Nas for 1,050.
What?
All right. Yeah.
You were going big points in the beginning, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but I didn't get the first question. I think. You know what? I'll take it. Thank you. It was a
go.
good game.
Oh,
I enjoyed whipping the crap out of all of you guys. Really.
I told
I
you you'd be
enjoyed
good at
being whipped.
trivia.
What?
Oh come on! I the Spyro one I wouldn't have gotten had you not had that reaction.
That's very
earlier.
true. And Ken, you got 900, and
Nice.
I probably wouldn't have done any better than what I got, 200. So
Give me an L. Me.
no, it's definitely me. Like if I would have stuck with the 100s and maybe got like one or two of the two, maybe. But no,
Mm.
no, I still would have lost spectacularly in this.
But
But
we don't know how things would have gone without if the theme songs had worked.
that's true. That's
We
true.
don't know.
Eat you
Yeah.
guys for breakfast.
I
That's
know.
what I
'cause
would have
you
seen
are the
you at a
musician.
Waffle House. Yeah.
Would have thrown down at the Waffle House.
That's great. All right. Last thoughts. Anyone on any of the articles that we covered today?
Oh boy.
Do not
Don't-
charge more for longer games. I keep thinking of the fact that they might now go like, oh, maybe we'll charge like $5 an hour, and if it's 120 hour, there's
Mm.
just so many bad places you could go based off of like total
Yeah.
campaign time. We already pay you people enough.
I'm
Thank
not
you
gonna
for
lie.
coming to my TED Talk.
I had this horrible thought. I don't know why I think this way sometimes, but I'm like, what's the worst thing they can do? What's the next thing these greedy companies can do? And it's charge you for the game
Mhm.
and then give you only so many times you can play it,
Ooh.
and
that's-
then
that's
charge you
gross.
for the privilege. Like let's say,
My hands
because I
feel
would
dirty
roll this
now.
out. I'd roll this out to like the most accepting game audience that there is, which is usually like sports gamers,
Mhm.
right? Unfortunately, I'd pick on
People
those
who
guys.
play Xbox.
Well, not poking on it, picking on any particular people, but I mean those
That's
games, and I'm not picking on the gamers. I'm just talking about the games themselves. They
Mhm.
charge a lot for what is essentially not very much, and they do it year after year after year.
Mhm.
And then if you even just lower the price by like $20 instead of 70, charge them 50,
Mhm.
but say you can only play this many times in this game mode, and if you want to pay more, if you want to play more, you got to pay more.
Jeez.
And just charging people like that. It's like having the privilege of going to an arcade, but paying to be in the arcade, and then paying on
Yeah.
top of that to play the games that are in the arcade.
Oof.
It's
It's like going to the mall
scummy,
to pay for
and-
parking. Like
Oh,
paying for
gosh.
Yeah.
parking at the mall to go to the mall.
Yeah, paying in order to have the privilege of paying for something.
Oh, that is so dirty. Ugh.
I know.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I hope I'm not giving anybody ideas.
You just did.
You did.
And then it's funny because as soon as I saw that, then I saw the multiverses thing come out, and I'm like, oh my god, they're in my head. Uh-oh. But stop it. Stop
you're
doing
a
that.
game developer or just a game company, because it has nothing to do with the devs. The devs are, for the most part, good people. It's the companies that are just looking to make money. You know, that arrow has to
you
keep
want to make
pointing
money,
up.
make good games, and people will follow. People will buy them. Make it with the game in mind first, and the rest will follow.
I was just about to say that. It's like, especially with the live service, you don't like you don't not like live services. You just don't like bad ones because, you know, generally they create the live service idea and then build a game around that. It has to work the other way. You had to create a great game and then see if there's a live service element that could be added to it. That's what Helldivers did. It's a great game.
Yeah. You created the game world, and then you figured live service will work for this.
Exactly.
And then you went forward with that.
Yep. Right on.
Yeah. And leave Kiryu alone, please.
Yeah. Hey, Fox is watching that show. His eyes were getting wide while you were talking about it. He was like, "Oh, this sounds great. He's in."
I would, Fox, if you want to do a playthrough of that, I'll watch your stream, man.
Right on.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I think I'll see if they have a bundle on the PlayStation Store, and I'm definitely getting it for sure. But thank you guys.
Definitely on PlayStation. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But thank you guys for coming through. This has been so much fun. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'll see you guys on the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Bye everyone. We'll talk backstage a little bit.
All right. Bye everyone.
All right. I mean, first and foremost, thank you to my awesome panel for being who they are, showing up. I really appreciate that. You can find where to find them on their Twitches and their various other platforms, YouTube and Twitter, in the description. By the way, you can find us there too. And lastly, I did write a book. It's a very, very, very short one. So, you know, it's something you can catch in between your 1,000 pagers. That will also be in the description. It helps out the channel a lot. So thank you. And last but not least, to the viewers, thank you so much. Without you, there would be no reason for the season. You're awesome. And thank you for showing up and being here with us. Specifically, Scotty, who's part of the panel, J Boog, who's also a part of the panel, and John DBZ, who always shows up, and we really appreciate you for that. But catch us at the same time next week. But until then, keep it casual. Peace.